The Clashing Conferences Podcast. Let's go.
Welcome back, everybody. Clashing Conferences Podcast here with most of the crew tonight. We got Paul representing the Washington Commanders, looking very much alive in the playoffs here unexpectedly. We got Chris Topher Pete representing the New York Knicks. We got
Good one.
we got Greg representing also the very much alive Philadelphia Eagles and bringing a guest on with him tonight here. We'll get to in a second. And Mike McCarthy had to take the night off. He's got some interviews lined up, trying to get a job. So,
Nice.
Kyle Montgomery joins us as Greg's guest. Greg was the internal competition champion, so as a part of that, gets to bring a guest on the show and is also leading the new internal competition.
That I am.
Doesn't look good for you to win that thing, but
Hey,
you do.
watch your mouth.
You do get to bring Kyle on, part of the very infamous on this show Montgomery Stanley clan.
That's right.
You got Greg and Kyle are cousins, and Jim Montgomery, friend of the show, we talked about last week, was KYW's fan of the year. Amazing stuff there, is Kyle's brother. And probably most importantly to Paul, Kyle is Roach's nephew. I'll get this all right here. It all connects. So
Number three. He's number three.
But we had a big win by Kyle and Greg's Eagles this weekend, 28-22 against the Rams. Washington and Paul, as we said, very much alive, had an even probably bigger win, an upset win against the Lions, 45-31. In our internal competition, Greg, as I said, you're leading that thing at 55 points, but not a whole lot of points left to be gained for you. Randy's just behind at 51, Paul at 50. Those two have the best chance of winning this thing right now. And Chris, you're back there at 44 with the most points yet to gain, but still not probably enough to overcome Paul and Randy if they can just pick correctly here. So
not even with the Super Bowl pick. I think with that, because I'd be the only ones with them. I'd get the 5.
Well, let's put it this way.
You are correct. That's
what I thought.
You're going to lose your pick this week because you're going to go with the Bills, and they're your Super Bowl pick, so you're going to lose that 5 points.
And so you guys all told me last week when you guys all picked.
No chance.
Yeah, you guys all did that last week too. So
Yep.
Just
point out
you
facts.
were wrong. Oh, yep, wrong facts.
Aren't you in last place right now?
Yeah, but I got a better chance of winning it than you.
I will say, and this
if I get my picks,
sense,
I'm going to beat you.
This makes no sense to me how this whole math works on this. But Chris is 6-4 on his picks throughout the playoffs so far. Greg and Paul are both at 5-5, but you both have more points than Chris, and seemingly should. Well, I guess not so. If the Bills win the Super Bowl, Chris is right. But
yes, I agree. Chris used his lower points on easier games. Great strategy, Chris, by the way.
It's not what I did. It's not what I did.
It's exactly what you
Something didn't go right, Chris.
It's not what I did.
How
used
you're
the game
in last place with the best record. Something
one that
definitely
hurt
didn't
me,
go right. I'm not sure
because
what
the
it
one
was,
that hurt me was last week. I should have got. I mean, we all picked the Lions, and the Lions lost, and I had an 11 on there. That's the one that.
Ooh.
And no, I think, yeah, that was a tough one. I got to go back and look at my picks.
I won my 11, I won my 12, and I won my 13. I'm just saying.
I won my 10. I still got my 7, 8, 9 left, though.
Okay.
Those big numbers are important to win.
But I got my 13, I won my 12, and I won my 10. So I missed, Did you win your 10?
I did. Thank you.
All right, well, that's a good one. That's why you're up right now. But then... But where are you at? Like Mike said, you got the least amount of points.
How can you two find an argument about everything?
Because he's a stupid. He's a
You could
stupid,
turn
arrogant
anything
Eagles
into an
fan,
episode of
that's why.
Seinfeld.
Because he always cries.
Like, was it a pick or was it not a
Listen,
pick? Was it a scratch or was it a pick?
I'm
You
going
could
to let
spend
you
30
go
minutes
because I'll
on it.
save that as my take because I don't really
Okay.
have
30
I'm
years,
say
Paul.
playing. So
30
go
years.
for it.
It has been widely discussed
Go for it.
about how Greg is like one of the least arrogant Philly fans
It
that
don't
you
Up
matter.
could
until
ever
3
find.
weeks ago. Up until 3 weeks ago.
He's still uneducated, so I can get him for that one.
Uneducated. Wow.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about that. But go ahead.
Well, let's see
Typical
how
Eagles fan
educated
just likes
he
to
is.
likes to talk smack and be uneducated.
That's
Let's
a good
lead off
realization.
with
Typical.
let's lead off with a little talk about those Eagles and their big win
I'll give
this
you a
week.
pass,
Kyle
Kyle.
and Greg, you guys were both there, suffering through the cold and the snow
That's
and the
awesome.
blistering conditions. Tell us a little bit about it.
Listen, there were 70,000 strong there. There was a couple LA fans there. Yeah, it was a great game. I'm getting text messages galore about how we suck, how we shouldn't even be in the playoffs. Yet we win 14 games. I'm hearing Jalen Hurts is horrible, yet his stat line is pretty close to Josh Allen this week, who, by
don't
the
even
way,
go
is
there.
God, who is the third best top quarterback in the league, yet
Hold on. I'll
still
rebuttal.
comparable.
I'll rebuttal.
But like
later.
overall, the game was what we thought. Earlier in the year, we were able to run all over LA. Saquon is a monster. He is a beast, and the rest of the team is doing what we have to do to win games. We're not looking to be flashy. We're not looking for Hurts to put up 350 because Hurts doesn't have to do that this year. All he has to do is hand the ball off. Hence the 26 carries and 200 yards rushing, and I think what do you have, 2 or 3 catches, Kyle? You know, he had a great game. Our D is the top defense in the league.
D's playing great. D's playing great.
Our D is
turnovers. 4, 3,
I think
4.
there was 3 turnovers. We had a
couple last week.
Yeah.
You get a bunch of turnovers every week.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm excited with how these boys are playing. Some of the injuries do scare me a little bit. You know, I think that, Q should be able to play. Hurts his knees a little banged up. He should be able to play. But, we do what we need to do to win the game, just like we did a couple weeks ago when we needed to pass the ball. They shut down the run. What did Hurts do? Hurts put up 303 touchdowns. Like, that's just the way that this team is built. Our O-line is literally the best offensive line in football, and they're moving people and they're wearing people out at the end of the games, and that's where we're able to pop these big gainers off. I'll let Kyle
two
talk,
big ones, right? 68 and 72 or something like that.
Yeah, and this is where I get frustrated because we get these text messages from these goofballs. Chris, you're an intelligent dude. I know you are. I know you know football.
I wasn't texting you during the game, so don't put me in this
just
conversation.
I'm just saying.
I know the same thing about you, but
I'll people to say you wouldn't win without Barkley, no crap. Like, he is our main guy. Just like the Bills wouldn't win with Josh Allen. Just like the Chiefs wouldn't win without Mahomes. Every team has that guy. You had 3 or 4 wins this year. You would have 0 if you didn't have Daniel Jones.
Quiet. Be fine.
Whoa.
Don't laugh here. I'm saying
There's that dumb shit again. Let's go to the second half.
Every team has that player. Barkley is that man this year. Hence the reason he's an MVP.
Oh, he is. He is
So,
the man this year. That's why we were giving you that crap. But go ahead.
Good. So, I'm interested to see what Kyle thinks in his take. We talk a lot about it during the week. We talk a lot about it during the game. What are your thoughts?
So the thing that scares me with Jalen Hurts is I think he's protecting the ball so he doesn't make a mistake, and that's why he holds on to it. Other than that, I don't think he's playing bad at all. I think he's playing safe football, which is what you want. People are comparing him to Trent Dilfer and Brad Johnson. Well, guess what? Those guys have Super Bowl rings. I'll take that. I don't care.
I definitely don't think he's Trent Dilfer. I do agree with you that I think he's doing what he has to. He doesn't have to press or push anything. And so when you do that, you
better
can
than Trent Dilfer.
Yes, everybody, or like Tony Banks, whoever the quarterback was for the first Ravens ones.
Right.
Just So
what the offensive line is doing, they're setting the defense up for the third and fourth quarter. They run the same plays in the third and fourth quarter they do in the first and second, and that hole is there. It's even bigger in the third and fourth quarter. That's why he's able to pop those 60-yard touchdowns.
Those holes were huge.
Yeah, they
That's
keep
why
winning.
he's able to predict he's going to pop those runs.
Like
Absolutely.
my fat
Yep.
butt could have run through a couple of those things. I think maybe.
100%. You might have got 60, but you would have got 6.
Yeah, I'd have got through the hole.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Then they would have caught up with you.
What I think is interesting, what I do, me and Kyle talk about this a lot, but what I do is I always DVR the game. Where we sit, we have great. I love the view of our seats, but we don't see the on field action and rewatching.
You got better
game,
seats than Chris in New York, right? I just want to make
Yeah.
sure.
we probably about the same seats. I mean, Chris's 50-yard line. We're more on an angle
We got
at
the corner
like
of the end zone, so
corner
we
of the
see
end
whole
zone.
field.
But he sits like literally in New York, even though this is in New Jersey.
I'm like,
Well, one of the things that I
So
thought was cool is
stupid.
when I go back and watch the game, Barkley and Hurts are on this wavelength right now where before he hit that run, he looked at Hurts, saw the
That was
formation
so
they
cool.
were in,
Yeah,
saw
we
the
all seen
formation
that.
and was like, call it.
No, he
Hurts
said, watch
called it.
this.
Yep.
Watch
Hit
this.
the hole.
Did
And
he
I'm
say
like,
that or I got this? I thought he said I got this.
They just looked at each
They
other.
looked at
and
each other.
there
They
was
didn't say a
like
word.
they knew exactly what
They
the
both
other guy
smiled. It was
Barkley
weird.
smile.
Yeah.
I didn't see
Yeah.
Jalen, but Barkley's smile was like basically like a watch this smile, like I'm gonna do something here.
Saquon
No, he
got
said
through
something.
the hole. He got
I
through
thought he
the
said,
hole
"I
and
got
Jalen
this,"
got his
yeah.
hands up right away. He knew it was
Yeah.
a touchdown. It was crazy.
Mhm.
And he almost did the Harper stare. Sorry, Paul, dig at you with the Braves. But he did the Harper stare to the guy that's like, I hate Eagles fans.
Yeah.
Verse.
I'm
Hey,
just
Burks had a
like-
good week. He had a good
He had
game.
a really good game.
Did you
Very
see
good
what he
game.
said?
He backed
Dude,
everything
yeah,
up
yeah.
that he said.
2 sacks, 2 QB hits. Yeah, he had a couple
He's a
See
good
what he
ball
said
player.
tackles for a loss.
Afterwards, he
What's
said that he got a
Snowballs.
phone was blowing up, and he was like, all these Eagles fans, they were giving me stuff, they were throwing snowballs at me. He was like, but they stood on their business, they stood up for it. So I appreciate that. I like that. So
Yeah.
he backtracked a little bit, but you could tell that he appreciates that.
Yeah, I thought one of the cool experiences that we had this weekend was at halftime. We was a couple of fans sitting 2 rows in front of us, and the one lady had a phone that was like a crazy Zoom. So like I talked to her a little bit, and they were just like, "Oh, we're here to watch our boy." I'm like, "Oh, who's your boy?" And they were like, "Oh, number 4, Witherspoon." So the dad came back and was talking to me and Kyle literally for all of halftime. So shout out to Lucky. I'm gonna hit you up on Twitter. You got follow us, check us out, Lucky. And
Cool.
his son went to Colorado, played ball, good ball player. I mean, he was on AJ half the game.
He did get the personal foul against Devontae, though. Just saying,
Yeah,
it wasn't him.
he had. I think he only had like 2 tackles, but he's a good ball player. And I'm thinking in my head, I didn't say anything to Lucky because he's a big dude. I was like, damn, like what the hell are you sitting all the way up here for? Come on, man, your boy's in the NFL. You should be down on the sidelines. Let's go.
Yeah. He was a big dude, so I wasn't messing with him.
So it was interesting. But yeah, it's just I had so much fun down there. It's just a different angle. I love seeing our defense now coming together and everyone's just flying around the ball. And I'm excited for next weekend. We'll see what happens and how things go. But what are your thoughts about next weekend, Kyle? Is there anything that scares you? I know we'll talk a little bit more about it later, but
The only thing that scares me is Jaden Daniels.
yeah.
I mean, he's a game changer. I mean, he could take over a game if he needs to. I think if the defense plays how they should, I think Q's going to be out there, so I don't think there's going to be any issues there. I think they'll force them to run, they'll force them to be one dimensional, and the only thing that bothers me is just the third and long, and Jaden Daniels going off for a 9-yard gain to get the first down. I mean, that'll cripple the defense after a while.
So do you think you do a spy with Bond, or do you kind of play that cover 2, or how do you attack it? I know I would love to see man. I really would, to be honest with you, and kind of have a floater out there, whether it's Reed or whoever. But
I was saying
I
it
don't know.
all day Sunday. As long as they stay disciplined, their defensive line. I mean, having the guard out for Washington, having a backup guard going up against Jalen Carter, that's not going to be
Good luck.
yeah. I mean, they'd have to double team him anyway, and he's going to probably get in that backfield. As long as they get containment on the outside and they force Jaden Daniels up the middle, they should have a good game plan against him. But yeah, I think they play a lot of nickel, a lot of cover 2. You got Blankenship and Cooper DeJean out there. They're both like linebackers, really.
Incredible whites.
Yeah, exciting whites. Get it right.
Exciting whites, my
Exciting
bad.
whites.
Yeah. But yeah, I think they play that. I mean, I look for Slay to have a big game again.
Yeah.
When the lights are on, he shines bright, man. He might be 63 years old, but he still shines bright.
56.
Yeah,
Leave him
56.
alone.
No, sorry.
Hey, and this is our platform, by the way, where I just like to point out every week, Jalen Carter gets held every single play. He is getting held every play, and that dude is a man-child. So I cannot wait.
He
just
picked
gets
up
the Shaq
Shaq
treatment.
and carried him like a baby.
I can't wait to
Not a
see.
small quarterback.
No, I cannot wait to see what is to come with this kid, and if he stays disciplined, how good he can actually be. I mean, just
I think he's going to snap and kill
comparisons-
somebody on the field one day, though.
I-
You don't have
I don't
anybody.
know.
Big Dom can't stop him.
No, I don't think he could. I really don't. But like they're already comparing him to like, I mean, Fletch did it for what 10 plus years, and they're like saying that he's got potential to be Reggie Jerome type D tackle D end, and I'm like, wow. So we'll see. I'm excited to see what
I saw the
happens.
comparisons to Aaron Donald with how fast he is off the snap. That's what I saw with the hands. He's quick with the hands. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, he's second year player, so I don't want to get my hopes up.
I agree.
And put that on him. But look, he's a beast, and he's playing out of his mind right now, and he's playing almost every snap, which is crazy considering down the stretch last year he couldn't even catch his breath. So.
Yeah,
we'll see what
nothing in his play shows any type of decline coming anytime soon. So
No.
there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with putting that label on him because he's already doing it. Just what you said. It's only his second year. He's dominating football games. So no bad injuries or anything. There's no reason why he can't continue.
Yep. I definitely see Sunday being a close game, though. I can see it being like 27-24. And as much as I hate to say it, I can see Elliott missing an extra point or, missing a kick, but he'll make a game winner when he needs to. That's
Sirianni addressed that. I thought everything's okay with your kicking room. Everything's all right there.
Oh, everything's fine. We say it's fine. He just can't make an extra point.
Yeah, it's in his head right now. You got the yips. That's what it is.
He does.
There's about a half dozen teams that are going to be kicking themselves for the next 10 years or so on missing on Carter in that draft, and my team, the Bears, is one of them. We should have frickin' taken that guy. I know I probably texted you guys on draft night that night. I was pissed. I wanted him so bad. And
so So the question is, did he do this on purpose and get out of shape on purpose to play with some Bulldogs?
No, he fell because he was in that car accident. It had nothing to do with
it's his character
Yeah,
issues.
it was total character issues that he felt
little bit
people
of
weren't
everything.
drafting him. But he's been fine for 2 years now, and this is his second year, right? Yeah.
Second year.
He's been
got tendency-
fine, no
you can-
trouble. And
You can see it's in there. You can see it's in there. He just has to keep it contained.
Well, he Ubers everywhere, so he doesn't have to worry about it.
There you go.
As long as he keeps doing that, I can't tell you how many multimillionaires are like find themselves behind the wheel when they shouldn't be.
Yep.
Even sober, they can't drive right. So
It's ridiculous.
well, let's flip to your opponent next week, the Commanders. Paul, you guys had a huge win, 45-31 against the Lions this weekend. Tell us about it.
yeah, I mean, if you take it against the spread, it's like a 30-some point win, like a 25-point win. Like, I mean, compared to what it was supposed to be.
You get no extra points for this.
No, unfortunately not. I mean, I'm over the moon. The one thing that I didn't want to happen did happen, where we lost a really good player, multi-year starter at guard, Sam Cosme. Again, that's my biggest fear for this week as well. Again, I said it in the text chat today. I've already hit 5 out of 6 numbers on a lotto ticket, so to me, I've already won. It's just a matter of how much I'm going to win. So, everything has gone great. Next year is going to be even better. Doesn't matter if Cliff Kingsbury's there or not.
It is definitely not going to be better.
Absolutely, because we're going to have next year or the years after, because we're going to keep getting players and free agents. We haven't gotten a free agent, like a name, like a big name free agent in like 20 years.
So you're predicting Super Bowl next year?
Oh, no. I'm not.
You said next year's going to be better. You're in the NFC Championship.
No, I mean, from day one, we're going to be a team to look out for. That's all.
Who's your owner?
Yeah. The guy that owns the Sixers.
Sixers owner.
Exactly.
Oh, the Sixers.
Exactly. You see how well the Sixers are doing. Good luck with that, buddy.
Hey, this ain't a process. This ain't a process. This process worked in year one.
It's a
We
process.
didn't pick Markelle Fultz or Ben Simmons at all. We went straight to the MVP. So
You're right.
there's no process. And also part of the process is you mortgage all this stuff and you can't get big players. And when you get the big players, you kick them out. Should have kept Jimmy Butler. That's not going to be us. We got people that already said they want to come play for us. Nobody said that in 20 years.
Plus, their star likes to play the games. They don't sit out all the time. No, I just wanted to add. How Embiid never wants to play, don't ever show up, and
there's our Knicks fan.
I think we definitely have a. I no, you don't, and actually nothing for this pod.
I do.
No.
I want to get fired up again. And Greg's trying to get me fired up in the beginning, and then the rest of it. Then their ending went really nice, and I kind of cooled down. But go ahead.
The way that we played last week was great. I think we actually should have won by a lot more. We had forced 5 turnovers and didn't commit a single one. Some of them were really good recoveries. Jamison Williams with the game on the line, potentially him throwing a pass where he's running and it, running out of the box and all that, where it's almost like a last gasp thing that he really should have just tucked it, or he could have punted it and it would have been better. That was terrible. Like that was just a bad idea. That was Dan Campbell's, go for it on 4th and 12 in your own 25. That just didn't work out very well. But the way that Jaden's running and keeping defenses honest is really working. I love having the middle open for those 6, 7, 8 yard passes to Brown and to Ertz and all those guys. Even Ben Sonnett, our one of our rookie tight ends. Exactly. Exactly.
So can he play guard?
I hope so. It'd be nice. We need an extra one up there. I'll tell you this: his parents' seats are probably higher up than freaking this other dude Witherspoon's. I'll tell you that. Yeah.
Lucky.
They're behind a pole somewhere in the stadium. They're behind the pole. But no, it was a great game. How could you not be freaking jazzed about that? As long as there are so many people that are rooting and have come to me that aren't Redskins fans that all of a sudden are like, dude, I'm rooting for you.
You got one right to your left. His name's Chris.
I'm fully aware. We don't want that.
Paul, that's why.
Got two. I got one in the background too. Got one in the background.
They're hot at the right time, and that's they're a fun team to watch. And how can you not like Daniels? It's a great story.
I like him. Yeah. It is a great story. I think he's a good.
And I was totally wrong last year going into this pod. I didn't think they're going to have a good year. I thought Dan Quinn was going to ruin a rookie quarterback. I talked a lot of crap on the Redskins, and they didn't. The people they picked up a bunch of old guys. I didn't think Wagner and all them dudes were going to perform the way they performed, and he got them. They're fun to watch, man. And
let's get our producer involved now that
I would love to see you losing them this week. I wish I would have picked them last week.
How do you think Jerry Jones feels about this with his old DC and OC sitting in the NFC Championship game right now?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You.
Dallas fan, come on, let's go. Randy's not here.
Oh man, now I gotta do all this editing and get me involved.
No, it's. I'm just curious.
It's a fair question.
It is. It's frustrating. Actually, I think I was telling Kyle we did our meet and greet last night to prep for him getting on, and I was telling him, I said, I can't believe I'm more excited to find out what's going to happen with the coaching staff than the players.
You might be taking Kellen Moore back again.
It's insane. It's like that's, and I've been a Cowboys fan my whole life. They were good when I was young. I think we talked about that before.
Yeah.
Haven't been since. Good. And they've been decent, but it's frustrating.
Yeah.
I'm not going to switch teams. I've been a fan so long, but it's frustrating. I don't even want to watch anymore. Yeah. And I know everybody's quick to throw out the whole, Jerry Jones is the problem. And, be clear, he's not wrong. For such a losing franchise, everybody cracks on. He has the most valuable franchise in the league.
Yeah, right.
So he's not.
But he doesn't have anything that he wants. He doesn't want the most valuable. He can care less about that. He's got more money than God.
He wants to win. He
wants a Super Bowl.
But the fans, it's like, we don't want you to just stay relevant. We want you to be relevant.
Yeah,
and
that's a good point.
So I want some new coaches in there. You guys know I'm a big Dion fan. I'd love to have Dion come in. I don't know how real that is. Has anybody heard?
I hope lately.
I hope it's real.
We all think there's like a twist that they're going to try to trade up. I mean, me and Tommy Henderson talk about that. I just can't see Shador going to the Browns or like I can't
Raiders.
see it.
I mean, I think everybody hopes that happens. Kind of like, I hope all the Giants, they all stay together. Their coach, GM, everybody. I don't want anybody to change anything.
So here's a question. I got a question about that. And that brings up a good point. And this bit us back in our Super Bowl run. I personally think that it bit Detroit this year. I mean, with those two prominent OCDCs interviewing for jobs and now one of them having a job in Chicago, the other one probably going to go somewhere else. You don't think that played into anything that went into prep time for the playoff game against?
You're saying
the other one's probably going to the Jets by the end of the night.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He's already been there twice.
It's a huge distraction in my opinion.
They got to change the rule. They got to change the rule.
I have to wait after the playoffs.
I think
there's plenty of time
for players.
But same thing happens in college football where they have this short transfer portal time frame during the bowl season is ridiculous.
Is that what it is though?
Yeah,
because they want to have their coaches in place for the draft.
Absolutely.
But are you wrong for that?
No, also, but the teams, and again, I'm not saying poor me. I'm not saying poor Detroit.
You got to bring everybody in, man. You got to bring your whole staff in. You got to it's like a whole starter.
I agree, but if you're trying to get to the NFC Championship game,
that's the most important thing right now.
And your DC are out getting jobs. Your players know that, and so do they. I mean, we flew.
It can't help. It just can't help.
No, we flew to Arizona, and basically, whatchamacallit is the head coach. Was the head coach there? Gannon. And it was kind of like, it was a joke. Like, hey, why don't you just stay here and not come back with the team and just, interview for the job? I think the NFL needs to do something about it, but I don't think they will. But it's always going to affect a team. Every year it does. And the team that it does not affect is Spags and the Chiefs. For whatever reason, he's just not going to go, and it is what it is. Their team, I don't think they're going to lose any of their coaches, but we'll see.
Steve, I got bad news for you. It's not going to, at least it doesn't look like it's going to be a sexy hire. There's been reports today that you guys are leaning towards bringing in Brian Schottenheimer. Yeah.
Oh, God.
And he's the betting favorite right now, too. And Vegas usually knows what they're doing with that stuff.
It makes too much sense for Kellen Moore to be the head coach. That's exactly why they won't do it, because it makes sense.
That's fine.
Yeah, he knows everything about the
really
team.
Liked him.
Well, he's the reason that you were having success, and then without him, what happened?
Yeah, I know. It is frustrating. And
I
liked him too.
So, yeah.
Paul, me and Brown, back to you, because in the beginning, you really weren't that excited about Dan Quinn coming in. And
no, but with the caveat was it going to be hands off? Like, Ron Rivera was awful, with play calling and things like that. But he's left everything to Cliff Kingsbury and hasn't meddled one bit. That's completely fine.
So where's he going to go next year?
Well, that's the thing. I was just about to say we're probably going to have to play this game.
He's run out of options.
Yeah, he will run out of options.
Nobody's going to go to Jacksonville. None of those guys are going to Jacksonville.
No, that owner, or is it the owner or the GM that sucks? I think it's the GM that sucks.
It's
the
both.
owner.
That's Dallas.
Yeah, I don't know who wants that Jacksonville job. That's interesting.
What about the Raiders, though? They didn't get anybody yet. You're saying Dion might go there. What about Cliff going there with a rookie quarterback? It's not a bad idea. Look what he just did this year with a rookie quarterback.
I think they've interviewed they're interviewing Pete Carroll. They're interviewing a lot of people in Oakland.
How old is he now? Like 87?
I'm so thankful Detroit lost and the Bears got Ben Johnson, because if Ben Johnson wasn't available this week, we would have done something dumb and taken one of these other 37 idiots we interviewed.
You did interview a lot of people. So the Jets is Rex Ryan's looks like he's not going to get a job.
I really think Glenn's going to be named there by the end of the night. He's in the building right now.
I agree.
They won't let him get out then.
Yeah. I agree.
And even stupid Eddie George is getting interviews for a job. Like,
really?
You have not been on the sideline ever.
Well, Paul, that was our second Rooney Rule interview.
Oh.
So I think that, I hate to say it, but I mean, I think Eddie George was just a Rooney Rule interviewee.
That sucks.
I feel bad for some of those guys that get interviewed just because the team has to meet a quota.
Someone don't take it because they know.
Eddie George isn't a legitimate NFL head coach interview right now.
No,
he's not. I'm sorry.
New Jersey State University.
He still gets the experience of the interview, though. I mean, that's important too when you're trying to.
It is. That. Yeah, I agree with that. That is true.
So at least he's getting an opportunity.
You're meeting people. You're shaking hands.
The funny thing I saw, Uzi from the Vikings, Raheem Morris, he said that he would take every single interview, no matter who it was. And I think that was just like, hey, if you want to satisfy your Rooney Rule, come give me a call. I'll take the experience.
Just to meet people.
Yeah, I'll be a guinea pig and just show
networking
because he's got.
Dude, he's legit. I would love.
But he's got a bad rap like with players, like not being a players person. So, so I think he's working on damage control, and he's like, use me. I need to build my brand back up, and and by the way, you need somebody that looks like me.
That's horrible.
Dude, we just talked about it. I'm not saying it deserves it, but I think he was using it to his benefit. He ain't going to get hired.
Well, before we run out of time here, let's get over to Chris. You got some thoughts on last week? I know you do.
I don't. I was all fired up in the beginning because of Greg. I wanted to rebuttal some of this stuff, but it ain't worth it.
Yes, it is. It's always worth it.
The one thing I want to say about Josh Allen, though, is you guys talk about him.
He goes from fired up to defeated. I
wasn't defeated. The pod went pretty good. We had a lot of topics.
And from saying I got nothing to here's another 30 minutes.
Kyle brought some good things in. We got Steven. I thought it was pretty cool. I like the way the pod went. I don't want to get into this, but if you want me to be fired up, one thing I want to rebuttal is I wanted to rebuttal the Josh Allen take, and you said something about Hurts having the same stats as him. Josh Allen's fingerprints are all over that game. They're the reason why he wins those games. Just like what Paul said last week. He don't have all the 9 Pro Bowlers like Lamar Jackson has. He don't have look at your guys' starting lineup. Look how talented it is. Josh Allen makes the big plays and the big moments, and he's Saquon is your leader. He does carry you. I think that's why you guys.
The point I was trying to make was Monday morning. The first thing that we hear about is what's wrong with Hurts. Hurts in the offense. I
didn't say nothing about that.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying the national media.
Media does.
National media is all like Hurts this, Hurts this, Hurts this, Hurts that. Yet we don't talk about Josh Allen literally with the same stat line, or we don't talk
totally
about
different though. Like I said,
or we don't talk about Patrick Mahomes having a bad game, or we don't talk about Jared Goff with his 4 interceptions or 3 interceptions, whatever it was. We don't talk about that. We go right at Philly. And that's where I'm kind of like,
there's no reason to go at it.
We like the other ones though. That's why.
Yeah, I guess
he's
so.
talking about the national
I think
media.
you got to understand, you're just waiting for you to do anything. You literally stub your toe, and they're like, "End of the world, it's a wrap."
Yeah.
Because you guys absolutely suck as humans.
Thank you. That's what my other take is. I didn't mean to totally say every single Eagles fan's uneducated and stuff, but it pisses me off.
I didn't say they were uneducated.
I don't hate Saquon Barkley, and I'm not.
You just hoped he got hurt for 18 weeks.
No, it's because of these ungrateful Eagles fans that don't deserve to win anything.
Ungrateful
and uneducated. Every week.
There you go.
Listen.
Every week
again. Now we're back to get me fired up.
Just because the mayor
No. I let you talk. Let me talk. Remember that, Steven? I let you talk. Let me talk.
Listen,
let me have my rebuttal.
Because the mayor of Philadelphia
only have 2-3 minutes.
Does not know how to spell Eagles. That does not have anything to do with us, by the way.
Is your mayor a female?
Clip.
The uneducated thing has nothing to do with that.
I didn't know that was your mayor. It's like
the mayor of Philly.
E-G-L. I was like, I don't know what the hell that was. You did it twice.
That has nothing to do with the mayor.
There's an A in there somewhere.
Has nothing to do with AJ Brown not being able to read and reading the same book all year upside down. Has nothing to do with that. Not that kind of uneducated. Not that kind. Picture book inside. Not that kind of uneducated.
Pops up.
But it's like every single week I got to get a meme of Barkley. First of all, we all discussed it. They did the right thing by not paying Barkley. Because
my gosh.
I'm dropping this down because I have nothing else to talk about. I'm tired of these stupid Eagles fans texting me every week. We didn't give them to you. Right? We didn't give them to you. We did the right thing by not We did the right thing by not signing him in our position. He's more
If
of a
you
piece.
have buyer's remorse and you could have literally turned, you could have had
The
twice
year
as many
before-
wins just from
the year
him.
before we offered him $14 million a year. He turned it down.
Chris, we've
That's
heard
why he
this
got tagged.
25 times.
Right, and that's how uneducated you are because you keep sending
I'm
these stupid. Yeah,
uneducated.
you, Tommy, these other people I used to
Oh,
work
here
with,
we
the
go.
media, Michael Parsons, everybody's saying this dumb stuff.
So
There's
you're
that
the
dumb shit
smart
again.
one. We're
No, but it's,
uneducated.
yeah,
Yep.
it is it's stupid. The Giants signed Burns and offensive lineman.
And
That's
how
what they
did that
got.
work for you?
Well,
Exactly.
Burns is a
Well,
good player. In the beginning of the year, the Giants were leading the NFL in sacks. Our offensive line was way
Was that for the
better
first
the
quarter
couple
of week
weeks.
one?
But
Yeah,
you
the
have
first couple
3
weeks until
wins
Andrew
all year.
Thomas got hurt, line was better. We need some depth.
Oh,
We
it's
gotta
been a while
plug
since I've
holes,
heard
dude.
Andrew
We can't
Thomas's
be-
name.
We can't be paying him. I
What's
just
that
wanna
other
say that.
lineman's name?
And this is why we all hate Eagle fans because you want to bring up the same dumb stuff and make up and kick
Chris,
his slobber
I've been hearing
down.
for 20 weeks
It's dumb.
how you hope Barkley dies.
Right, because I hope he gets hurt because you don't deserve to win. You
Yeah,
don't
he-
deserve to win. I
he
want
makes
you
it-
to lose this week and just
Kyle,
cheer
feel
on
free
your
to chime in, man.
cheer on your pathetic Sixers the rest
I'm
of the
going to
year,
need Chris's
buddy.
phone number to make sure I have the.
You got it. I will. Yep.
We have each other's number. We used to be in touch, buddy.
I'm gonna have to
And
start-
then here's another thing. Like
He needed a break
Barkley
from
never, other than his rookie year, was going to put up this type of season with us. You knew that. Look what Tracy did this
he
year.
knew that too. Hence
And
the
what
reason he
Tracy
left.
did this year compared to what Barkley
That's why he
did for us
turned down your
last year.
14 and whatever
It's
else
not
you
much
offered him.
different.
So
We're
have
not
you-
paying him $12 million a year.
let's ask you a real.
I'm not saying Tracy's Barkley. I'm just saying
Have you seen the video of GM's son telling him to trade up and draft Jaden Daniels?
Daniels.
and that's and you
It
know we
still
tried.
comes up in my feed weekly on Facebook.
And you know we tried. So
15-year-old
is that?
the right move to make,
And we tried.
and you didn't.
And that's the
You did not
uneducated
try.
stuff.
Nobody made the call.
These are
You
your
didn't make-
guys' digs. This is
You
your
didn't make
guys'
the call.
digs, and it's not. They
How's
couldn't
that
trade
uneducated?
up because they tried to trade up. You're making it. You're saying
I
that
would've
this
did it.
guy's son. You're saying this kid's son knows more than the G. That's not true.
I didn't say. I said he
They
knew more
wanted
than
to
you.
trade up for him. They
I didn't say
asked
he
to
knew more
trade
than
up
his
for
dad.
him.
I just said he knew more than you. That's all I said.
No, I would have loved to trade up for Daniels. I would have loved to trade up for Daniels. They couldn't trade up. They
Yeah.
tried. Patriots said no. Everybody thought they wanted May. They wanted Daniels. That's who Brian Dable loved.
Well, in our
Which
episode,
actually encourages
4
me
weeks, you
why
can
they're
tell
trying to pick their next quarterback. They have good. He has a good eye for quarterbacks. So
and then maybe in
Get us a
6 more
quarterback.
years you can look for another one.
I'm
Great.
hoping we get one somehow this draft. I don't know how, but I hope they do.
I hope
I got a couple I like. So,
All right.
Hey, look,
Yeah,
as
me
far as
too.
uneducated Eagles fans go, I just want to say Jimbo is a Philadelphia sports historian. So
Yeah, there you
let's-
go.
Let's not
Get it
include
right.
him.
And actually, you know what? Me and we actually have good talks, and he's.
So does that mean like of the three
good.
Stanley
Yeah,
Montgomerys, you've got is it
Yeah,
the three
because
dragons
you can
where that
actually have
one
a
in
good
the
talk with Jim, and he's
where the
realistic.
the
yeah.
one is like has
Are
like
we,
the nice
are we
eyes, and the
gonna
other
do,
ones are all
Are we
special.
going to do start bench cut again?
man, sounds
Kyle,
like
you sticking around for the second half?
like Jim
Do
Moore.
whatever you want to do. Yeah.
All right, stick around, brother.
Do I have to stick
Yeah.
around for the second half?
No,
You can do whatever you want. You're in charge here.
All right.
That's enough dumb shit for the first half. I think Chris got it all out. Hopefully, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back to
stop hating, Mike.
hash through the internal competition picks and start looking forward to the AFC and NFC championships.
Hashtag ban Chris.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening. Just a few quick reminders for everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Michael Jordan is the GOAT. And check out our fellow podcaster, Jim Montgomery, with This Day in Philly Sports History. Thank you.
Welcome back, everybody. Second half. We're going to start looking forward to the conference championship games. Before we do, let me just run down this internal competition again. We've been doing a confidence pool. Every week, these guys pick the games. They assign a number to it from 1 to 13. If they win it, they get that number of points that they assign to it. Right now, we got Greg leading at 55, Randy at 51, Paul at 50, Chris at 44. We got 3 games left, and you guys all have your Super Bowl pick alive, which is 5 bonus points if you get that right at the end of the year. Greg, you've decided you want to... Well, let me run through the 2 games this week first as well. We got The NFC East game, which matters most to us, Washington is plus 6.5 at Philly. We're picking just the win here, not spread, but that is the spread for those that care. Buffalo plus 1.5 at Kansas City. At Kansas, if Randy were here. That is the AFC Championship game, so that's our 2 games this weekend to pick. Greg, you've chosen to lead off in first place. What do you got for us?
So, kind of looking at it, I only have 3 numbers left, obviously. I got a 6, a 2, and a 1. So, I am going to take the Eagles with a 6 over the Washington Commanders. And I am going to take Kansas City with a 2 over Buffalo. Because I know Chris has to take Buffalo because that's a Super Bowl pick. And I know, well, I guess I wasn't too strategic because I know Randy and Paul both need to take Kansas City too. Damn. All right, I'm going to just stay with it though.
I didn't take Kansas City.
As your Super Bowl winners, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Randy's not here to pick, so Paul, you're going to be up next, and I gotta give you an apology. I made fun of your strategy on week 1 of this competition. I said it didn't seem like much of a strategy, but now when you look at maximum number of points, if you can win out, you will tie Randy. If you can pick these last, if you and Randy were both to win out, you would tie. So what are your picks for the week?
So along with the way that I've picked for this whole playoff season, none of my picks are with my heart. They are all with my head. So I'm going to take the Bills with a 6, and I'm going to take an Eagles with an 8. Same thing as before. And it's one that, trust me, I will sacrifice an internal competition to lose those 8 points in a heartbeat.
Now that it's on paper, why would you take the Bills?
Exactly.
If you have Kansas City as your Super Bowl winner.
You just lost your strategy.
Because I'm
strategy
trying to.
is over.
But if I lose that, I still have Kansas City, and you still have the Bills. So if you lose the Bills, you lose altogether. If I win this, I can at least still.
You don't have the Bills.
I don't have the Bills
to win the Super Bowl.
No, I don't.
You got the Eagles.
I got the Eagles.
Oh, okay. Either way.
Okay.
You got to deal with Randy and Chris too. They could still both beat you.
I'm also doing a lot of reverse psychology inside my head as well as superstition.
Yeah,
a lot of reverse psychology, but not a lot of math. So I'm sorry.
Hey, I can only.
If the maths, he's good with it.
I have ADD. I can only. I switch from one to the other. My math turns into superstition into reverse psychology. So I'm like, at one point where I got it on paper and I put it down, I'm like, then it looks good.
You sound like one of those uneducated Eagles fans that Chris.
See, I understand what he was doing. I know he's in a tough situation, but if my Giants were in the playoffs, I'm picking them.
So. They're not.
Yeah, and and if I lose,
it will be.
If I lose,
Giants, even when you're not in the playoffs.
Yeah, I should get a lot of credit. I think Patty gave me an award. I bring it every week, whether my team sucks or not. So let's go.
You bring BS.
Are you going to give? Yeah, whatever. You're a waffler. Are you going to go eat a waffle?
I waffle.
Are you going to give us Randy's stuff,
maybe.
or do you want me to go? Because you want me to go last, or you want to give us Randy's picks?
I did not catch Randy's picks earlier.
Yeah, he did.
In the text thread. It's in the text thread, but I don't.
Why don't you go? I'll look those up. Why don't you go ahead and give us your picks?
All right. So
I got it right here. He's got he's got Kansas City with a 7 and the Eagles with an 8.
And he also has KC as a Super Bowl winner.
Yeah. Well, Chris, that should make it easy on what you need to do here.
Well,
I think the Chiefs.
No, I'm taking Buffalo. I'm taking Buffalo with
That's
an 8.
a Super Bowl pick, right?
Yeah, that's my buzz.
Yeah. You're not going to take the Paul strategy and go against your Super Bowl pick?
No, I'm taking Buffalo with an 8. This is their year. They're going to win. I think Josh, I told you guys last year since week 1, he's the best player in the league and the best quarterback in the league.
So why in the world would I take the Bills if Chris is so overly confident in the Bills?
They're also, I think they're the only team I know. I think KC lost the last game of the season, but Buffalo beat them in the regular season. They're the only team to beat them in the regular season.
Yeah, but they also the last couple of years beat them in the season and then go to Arrowhead and lose.
It's just kind of like that. Michael Jordan had to get over the hump. He had to beat the Pistons. This is his Pistons. He'll beat them. Okay, it's on. I'm taking them with an 8, and I'm going with Washington. And it's not just because I hate the Eagles. I'm taking Washington with a 7.
Finish it. You hate the Eagles fans.
I hate the Eagles, but I do dislike the Eagles fans at times. But they're my friends, and they're my friends when it comes down to it. It's just sports. But during the season, I hate them. Yeah, I do.
All
waffling now.
All Eagle fans. Yeah, I'm waffling a little bit because you're good guys, man. And I do appreciate you as friends. But your team suck, and
Are you confident that if your car was broken down on the side of the road, are you confident that both of these would stop? Both of these fellas would stop?
Both of them guys
would with that Giants thing on your car, no way.
Yes, you would. First of all, you would laugh.
I would pull Greg Persh and leave you at the Marriott.
You could laugh and say, oh, you probably say something stupid. I'm broke down because I have Giants stickers on, but you would help me out.
That's 100% what I would do.
We don't support that pride stuff down there.
So I'm going to take Washington, but remember I was setting you guys up. I was telling you about how good your defense is, and all you got is
sure were setting us up.
Greg, you feel set up?
I guess what I'm saying is you guys get all these turnovers, and you should have been blowing people out. You should have blown the Rams out. You let people hang around. If it wasn't for Saquon Barkley and you had to put it in Hurts' hand, you'd probably lose the game. This week you're playing a team that doesn't turn the ball over. They're efficient on third down. They rarely punt. You're not going to have the time of possession that you normally have. If they play their game and they're smart, and you guys, turn the ball over once or twice, and you lose a turnover battle, I can see Washington beating you. Plus, they're hot right now. They got nothing to lose. They're a scary football team right now. I'm going with them. I think they're going to beat you this week. So that's my point.
That's why my confidence level just went through the roof.
That's fine. I think I have good reason to believe they can beat you. I do.
And that's why I'm trying to stay as humble as I can until it happens. It's worked for me so far.
Whoever wins the turnover battle will win the game.
Yeah.
That's a 100%. Good point. Yeah.
100%. They match up well with each other, so whoever wins that turnover battle will win. I agree.
I like the fact that we have a rookie quarterback coming into the Lions' den. Crazy for a 3 o'clock
sound like
afternoon
that Packers fan lady.
With a broken down offensive guard with a Eagles defense that's the best in the league, and that's what I don't think
the atmosphere is really going to be that much of a factor. I'm sure I know it's crazy. I am not downplaying that one bit. I'm just saying I don't think it's going to be that big of a factor. I mean, if you look at how composed that
they're
Jaden
used to
has been,
playing there, man, and they know you very well, and they're not worried about that. They're focused on this game.
Jaden Daniels has played there once. I don't think he's used to playing there.
I was just saying
the team does. The team's experience. He's ready. He's poised.
Championship games at the link are a different type.
That's what I'm gonna say. Week 12 versus NFC Championship game. You're talking night and day. It's going to be insane.
I think the scariest part of that, you guys hit it on your head, them losing their guard going against your defensive line. But Jalen Hurts is humbled. He is hobbled a little bit. And if he can't extend plays and move around in the pocket, he does turn the ball over. So
he is not and they're going to know that.
And they're going
10 weeks.
But he does, though. He can turn the ball. Because they're handing the ball off to Barkley. Now they don't have to worry about him running that much. Not Barkley, Hurts. So maybe now they're gonna concentrate on Barkley because they don't have to worry about Hurts running around in the pocket. They're not a bad team, and they do have a defensive-minded head coach, and they played good defense this year. This team can beat you.
They also just played against,
and they did beat you this year.
Depleted. They beat us. We had our third-string quarterback in.
Yeah, and you turned the ball over.
And lost our secondary.
I'm telling you, man.
I just hope we hurt the players again.
I'm telling you, man.
The game.
Can't wait till next week.
It's going to be beautiful.
Can't wait.
Well, Kyle, I think we all know what you think about the Philly game. What do you think about that Buffalo-Kansas City game?
I mean, I honestly have a hard time rooting against Mahomes and Andy Reid. Unfortunately, the refs are in their back pocket. I mean, Josh Allen's going to do everything he can to win that game. I just hope that it doesn't come down to a field goal at the end. I hope we get a shootout, and I hope it's a competitive game. But I honestly think the Bills are going to win. It's just hard to root against Mahomes and Reid. I think the Bills are going to win. I think this is their time, but they're not going to win the Super Bowl. They're going to get deflated in the Super Bowl. I got a feeling about that. But I do like Josh Allen. I like Josh Allen. I've liked him since he came in the league. I think he's a competitor. I think he's a hell of a quarterback. He's an awesome player. I root for Josh Allen, except if they play the Eagles. So But I hope that they do put an end to Mahomes and Andy Reid. I can't stand the Chiefs. The Chiefs, to me, are the Patriots again, all over, and it's annoying to see them in every.
And we don't want to see them three-peat.
No.
But I'm going to be cheering that three-peat on if they play you. So
I'll
be fine with it. I'll be fine with it then, unfortunately.
And you wonder why people take shots, Chris.
Yeah,
because every time you take a subtle dig at any opportunity.
I have to, because it's exactly what Mike deals with, and he knows what I'm talking about as a Mets fan. And that's why
Mike
I got
is
mad.
Nowhere near being the asshole you are with us.
No, but when you guys would beat him up all the time, he knows what that's like. And you guys do it all the time.
And
he won 4 games this year.
He gives it
back. I had a lot of bad years.
And then you bring up stuff that ain't even true.
With exactly these two fools right here giving me hell.
Listen, Mike, we were at games together where I thought that we were not going to be able to get out of the car together because I'll just say the broom incident came up. And that was an interesting ride home from that Mets game. And Mike's been through a lot. Heck yeah, we have all been through a lot. But that's part of being friends. But Mike's not like you are.
Oh, my. Minus points. He ain't allowed to say that.
All right, -1. I'll take -1. Sorry.
He called you by your nicknames.
I apologize.
No, that's good. My nickname's Topher Pete, just because you don't understand it.
That just sounds like a slave name. I think you're racist.
He's still trying to do the math.
Wow.
Leave him alone.
Yeah, I know. He's still.
I think we're off the rails here. That's enough dumb shit for now. Let's get out of here. We will be back next week to see which one of these NFC East teams is still alive and going to the Super Bowl. Good luck, guys.
Giants.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Say something, Chris.
I'm not even saying.